Here is how to beat the tape boss in Paper Mario the Origami King. If you're struggling here, that's okay. This is probably the hardest boss in the game, and I will show you the ideal method, the easiest and quickest method for beating this boss, as well as backup tips and strategies in case things don't go exactly as planned. One quick tip before starting is that you could hold the Y button to cheer the toads, and this can sometimes heal you a little bit. In phase 1 of the fight, you have to break all 4 corners of the tape's case, and turn 1 is the easiest turn of the entire fight. All that you do is line up the attack panel so that you're right in front of the tape boss, and you line up the treasure chest so that you pass by that also. If you finish here, then you'll attack 2 corners of the case at once, so this will save you a bit of time, make the fight easier, make you take less damage. Once you get to this spot, go to your items and use a regular fire flower. A shiny fire flower also works, and it doesn't even matter if you get the action commands here, it will take out 2 corners of the case. The boss will attack, and you can press the A button to block to take a bit less damage. The second turn of the fight is a bit harder than the first turn, but you really want to get this right because it makes the rest of the fight easier, and anything that makes the rest of the fight easier you'll really appreciate once you get to it. In this turn, you want the attack panel to finish directly behind the boss so that you're attacking the 2 remaining corners. You also want to pass by the on switch in this turn. In the previous turn, you passed by the treasure chest, which had the on switch inside it, and in this turn, stepping on the on switch here will make the rest of the fight easier, and you really want to make this boss as easy as possible. If you pass by the A+1 panel in this turn, it doesn't really matter because if you use a fire flower, then you'll destroy the rest of the case anyways, and you won't use your second attack if that happens. This isn't actually the end of the fight, this is just the end of the first phase. The second phase will now begin, and the boss will begin by using a rollout attack, where it sticks tape to certain tiles, which makes the tiles more difficult to move around, and it makes it more difficult to get the exact path that you want, sometimes making it impossible. So for phase 2, I will show you what an ideal phase 2 looks like if everything goes perfectly, and I'll also give backup strategies in case things don't go exactly as planned. In the first turn of phase 2, you'll want to get to an activated 1000-fold arm magic circle. If you stepped on the on switch in the previous turn, then you don't have to worry about stepping on the on switch in this turn, which is why I recommended that. Once you activate the 1000-fold arm technique, you grab, then you flip the boss, then you grab again, and then you mash the A button to start pulling out tape, and this will do a lot of damage to the boss, and this is where the majority of the damage comes from. The boss will use its sticky drill attack, and you can press the A button to guard to take a bit less damage. In the second turn of phase 2, the boss is going to use the rollout attack again before it's your turn to attack. At this point, what you'll want to do is pass by an on circle and end on the fire elemental magic circle. If you can do both of those things in this turn, then that is incredible. That is a perfect second round of phase 2 in this fight. But if you're not able to do that, then just getting to an on switch is okay. Using the fire elemental special attack will damage the boss a little bit, and it'll also burn off all of the tape that's currently on the field. And you'll want to do this because if you don't use the fire elemental special attack soon enough, then the boss will scoop up all of the tape that's on the field, healing itself. When it's your turn again after using the fire elemental special attack, what you'll want to do is get the on switch ready for another 1000-fold arm attack so that you can finish off the boss. The 1000-fold arm magic circle is going to be hidden in the chest, so in a perfect world, in this turn, you'll want to pass by the on switch and the chest. Sometimes the tape makes this impossible, so it's okay if you split this into 2 turns if you can't get both the on switch and the chest on the same turn. If the boss is spinning and glowing, what you'll want to do in this turn is get to an activated fire elemental circle because that will be able to damage it, and it'll also clear off whatever tape is on the field currently. However, if everything went perfectly up until this point, and you're able to get to a 1000-fold arm magic circle on this turn, then that will finish off the boss, and this will be the end of the boss fight. If some of the previous turns, where you had to get 2 things in the same turn, were split into 2 turns because it was impossible to get them both in the same turn, then the boss will probably start spinning and getting ready for its special attack. But If you are able to do everything perfectly, if you are lucky, then you'll be able to skip the boss's attack by defeating the boss before it starts spinning and glowing. It's okay if the boss fight takes a little bit longer. You can just arrange the tiles so that you collect some extra hearts. You could try to end on an attack panel so you could use some of your mushrooms for healing, or you could hold the Y button to cheer the toads to try to heal you a little bit. Again, this boss is different from others because a lot of this boss depends on luck. If you're lucky with how the tape is put down and where your tiles appear, then you can defeat this boss before its special attack. If not, the boss fight will be a little bit longer and you'll have to make sure that your HP is high enough to survive the attacks. I hope this guide was useful to you. Please let me know in a comment if it helped. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content, and enjoy your game.